Okay, there is no response. Then I will start. Let me share my screen. I will give you a bit of a recap and then we can, you know, share screen. Okay. I'll show you the protocol as well as what are the red flags. So I thought we can have an interactive session, but seems like not possible. Okay, so there are a couple of aspects we can cover in this review session of a protocol. There are multiple things to go of protocol writing. If you remember our very first session, where we said that protocol is prepared by a medical, by a team, whole set of teams. So if I go with our plan, so protocol is the way you can say this is how our things start. This is of course our plan. Now this plan is meant different for different teams. Like your operation team. So suppose you are a CRA or CRC, even TMF specialist, because these new roles are also came in. Suppose maybe a transparency associate. This is a different for you, because for CRA, CRC, I will show you how you can cheat it. Mostly what matters to you is a study design and schema, and or you can say that schedule of activities. These are the things those matter to you when you are working in the operation, correct? But now suppose example you are in a medical affairs. Maybe the safety section of a protocol is more important for you, because you have to pay attention to A's and SA's. Similarly, if you are a PV associate, again, this section is important for you. And if you are a data management person, then study design, schema, schedule of activity is very important again for you, because you have to design the CRFs. Data management team is going to design the CRFs, right? So, but how about medical writer? Medical writer, they write this protocol. From what source document they do write? They write from your proof of concept. They do get literature. What else they get? They are having an investigational brochure. These are the documents they are having that they are when they are writing a protocol. Suppose you are a statistician, then number of participants and efficacy section, because you are the one who is going to tell them a power calculation, right? And this is for stat. And testing the hypothesis. Is important for you, right? And if you are a medical writer, then many of your protocol sections, they are super important for you when you are writing your CSR. I will show you how smartly 40% of CSR you can prepare once you are having a protocol. So idea of all this session to give you a lot of confidence, right? Now let me show you the protocol so that how you can go through different sections of a protocol, and based on your role you can catch the idea. Let me go to my files. I must be having one protocol. This is our slides. I don't want to share slides because we have already covered. I was having one protocol template. Here it is. Okay, I hope you are able to see the Word document, right? So first of all, if you see the title, the one that I am underlining, title tell you about study design. Now look at it. Randomized, that means trial is randomized, double blind, placebo control, parallel group, study to evaluate efficacy and safety of this in this. This is telling you about the study design. These are our guidelines. That title should tell you about the study design. Then it is a phase 3 trial. Now look at different sections. Now this abbreviation section and definition and section, this comes automatically because nowadays we are using AI. That it is, if you are using a Viva CTMS, most popularly Viva CTMS is being used to write for a collaborative authoring. Collaborative authoring is that now I am now handling this Word document. Simultaneously, all of you can also edit it, and your name will be there, right? So that is collaborative authoring. Synopsis will be there, ethics, and now no matter which team you are, suppose example you joined as a CRA or you have joined as a trial master file associate, right? It is expected that you should know some protocol. Just read synopsis. If you can't read the whole protocol, read the synopsis, right? And ethics section, mostly it stays same. Institutional review committee board, these changes also, their structure also change, but they are mostly, their language stays same. Now what I want to show you now, another important section is that study objectives. This is where you will learn that what is the goal of a study, why we are doing this study. So this primary, secondary, both will be there. And this is your investigational plan is study plan. That how this study, like in our studies, randomized double blind, placebo control, right? And about a research participants, study population, they have mentioned here, your inclusion, exclusion criteria. Study procedure, schedule of study assessment. This will be very important. On which day patient will be visiting the clinic. Very important for you. The whole idea of a study you can take from this section. See, if you are a statistical consideration will be coming here. You are testing the hypothesis. In case there is no hypothesis, that will be mentioned here. Study data. And your monitoring and auditing plan will be mentioned here. And data handling and record keeping also. And if you see these sections, confidentiality statement, even to an extent of these, they stay same. The language organization do is that they standardize the language for these topics, and no matter for which study you are writing a protocol, this will be automatically there. Only thing is you have to do the minor changes based on your protocol. So now I wanted to show you, keep on asking questions if you are having. So synopsis always will give you the idea of that what this study is and how they are going to do. See, it will give you the quick idea. Even the number of participants, if you want to learn that, it will give you an idea. Now I just wanted to take you to different section. See, the ethics, this will be always saying that as per the Declaration of Helsinki. Little bit of language change, same for ethics committee, depending on the which is there, like either it is institutional review board or ethics committee is there, that language will change. The study will be conducted as per ethics statement will stay same. Now, in some organization, this section comes up, like here it is a 3.2. Whereas in some organization, they keep it to the last, near to your confidentiality statement. Suppose you are writing a protocol. Someone asked you to write a protocol, download any protocol or a couple of protocols from ct.gov. These general section you can, take I can say 80% guidance from other protocols. Patient informed consent form. This is just an administrative. Now, this is where you have to put a lot of effort. Introduction section. That why you are doing a study on this particular disease, what is a disease burden, in which country you are doing, why you are doing. Mostly, your team will also support. You will, suppose example, you are in a phase 2. This protocol we are doing of a phase 3 trial, right? You have seen that at the top, we are doing phase 3 trial. So what you will do is, you will ask team that please give me protocol of phase 2. Or if it is available on ct.gov, you will already download. And then from there, you can pick a lot of information. Even if you can't cut, copy, paste, you will also get a good reference. You will get a starting point. So I'm just giving you an idea that if you ever feel stuck, that what to do, never feel stuck. Always find a way. Suppose you are writing for phase 3, pull the phase 2, phase 1 protocol, or pull the protocols of our competitors to take a guidance. Understood? Yes or no? Okay, so then this is also background that what is your this draft you can take from your investigator brochure. And here your clinical team will also be helping you a lot. And this is the data from your animal studies. Again, if you have a protocol of your previous phase, you will get a lot of guidance. Now, these protocol objectives. Now, as a medical writer, we can't write at our own. That's not our job. Our job is to facilitate the work, right? We are not inventing the content. So who is responsible? Mostly medical affairs team, or in some companies, it is also known as a like medicinal delivery lead, MDL. Medicinal delivery lead, early medicine delivery lead, vaccine delivery lead. Okay, some people will confuse, like mostly if you will be working in with some company, the highest positions will be labeled as a lead, especially if you are working with a sponsor company like a pharma company. That means these are the highest people who are making a decisions, like you are medicinal delivery lead, like I am a transparency lead, so that means I'm heading a department. So whenever you will be seeing the message from lead, that means that person is a decision maker. It's not your team leads, it's just like they are heading that function, they are heading that department. So these MDLs, EDLs, they are leading the program. Suppose oncology program is led by some MDL, he is the one who will guide you for objectives. Similarly, if there is a PK study, there may be a PK scientist. PK scientist is the lower position, and then there will be maybe a PK lead, which will be the higher position, right? So even if you are in this pharmacy background, you have done advanced degree of a pharmacy, you can also be PK scientist first, maybe starting with associate analyst and in some time PK scientist, then you will become a PK lead, leading a function. So suppose it is a PK study, then PK scientist or PK lead will be helping you. Sorry.
ಅಯ್ಯೋ ಮಿಕ್ಸರ್ ತಂದ್ರೆ
Who is speaking? Hello, hello, hello. Who is speaking?
ನೀವ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ ಕೊಡಿ ಅಂತ ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು.
Let me see. Yeah. Let me see. Okay. It's good interruption in a way. I was able to mute them. But it break a rhythm. This is also my request, I mean, you should take advantage of these classes, should not be distracted. But anyways, everyone has a different goals. This is investigational plan. You can get an idea that how this study is being done. I'm not going deep into this. Is where study flow, or this is also known as sometime with the study schema. If you don't understand any protocol, I will say just try to understand this diagram. This will give you 80% of the idea why this study is done. Like here, so easily, eligible participants are coming, they are randomized 1-to-1. That means one part will be getting this drug, FX006, another will be given placebo. End of double blind, this will be on your day 1. After week 2, this will be like this, right? Eligible for open level, if no, you will go in this window. If yes, you will go here. You will be receiving this, and blah, blah, blah. So every week they will be deciding that like this. So easy to understand the design from the study flow chart. Sometimes it is written study schema. Suppose example, you are working in a transparency team like me. You need not to read a whole protocol. Just come here. You will understand instantly that this is double blind parallel study, or it is a crossover, whatever study it is. You will be understanding from here. This is how easily you can review a protocol. What else I want to share with you? Even for me, this section is always very important. For my own curiosity, I always see that what rationale they are giving for a dose. Suppose there is a blinding in a protocol, you will be always giving an idea that how and what are the circumstances when the blinding can be broken, right? Your team will assess you. So most of language stays same, but based on a protocol, this change here and there. This classification, if you wanted to give for a drug classification, you always can take from your investigational brochure. Okay, this is the second most important, you can say diagram, table, or figure, which one should pay attention. If you do not have any time and you wanted to understand a protocol, first, figure 1, flow chart, read that. Second, come here, schedule of study assessment. This will tell you on what day, what will happen. And if you are CRC, you should take a printout of this and paste on your desktop. Informed consent, like that this time this will happen. Inclusion and exclusion. If on a day 1, this visit will happen. Week 12, what is happening? Physical examination, when is happening? Screening, it is happening. After that, no. And then at the end of a double blind phase, it is happening. See, vital sign, I am picking few. Vital sign, when they are taking? On the day screening, on the day of consenting, on week 1, 4, 8, on week 12. So Every time it is happening. Now there is something different I want to show you. There are some tests. See, here are some tests. They are just taking on a screening time only because they want to screen test. Okay, so this is the one table you should understand perfectly, and if are having question, ask people. And all the superscripts on this, they are always explained down under the table. Any question, anyone from here, we can take up the questions. I will go to, I don't know why you don't ask anything. Okay, no problem. After this, I will also go to the CSR, that how you can write CSR. See, sometimes there are more tables, like because study is also extending to open level, so they have a different table for the same. And if anyone sees this A section, all these definitions you are taking from your GCP. Copy paste. These are assessment criteria. Again, for these you need not to work because these stay same. These are a standard definition. Yes, this section is always added for every protocol. Statistical consideration. So this is the section that is given to you by your statistician. Statistician, they develop another document which is known by, which goes by the name of a statistical analysis plan. It goes by this name because when you are writing CSR, this plays big role. So from this statistical analysis plan, the high level information you copy here. That basically how you are going to measure some of the endpoints that you take from this. How you will be processing the study data, that you will be taking all the data in the electronic forms. And now suppose you are in a CDM team. These CRFs will be prepared by you. See, this sample size, this the whole thing, approximately 70 patients will be randomized in part 1 and 440 will be randomized in part 2 of a study. This whole calculation which is given here is provided by STAT. Okay, so now I just wanted to show you another slide, that what are the different red flags. Let me show. So this is, if you wanted to see, this is how we go. We write a proof of concept, then based on that, we draft a protocol. That cross-functional review, maybe our MDS, they will review, maybe our investigators, they will also review. CDM team may be reviewing it. A regulatory affairs will be reviewing it. Patent attorney. Patent attorney, they will definitely reviewing it. Feasibility assessment, is it possible to do this study? Statistical review will happening. Regulatory and ethical alignment. Then operational review, like sites, visit, procedures. Then final quality check, then only protocol got approved. And if you want to do any change in this, any update or any change, then this will be known as a amendment. And this will again go through review and approval workflow. So this is how it happens. Why we say that review matter? Because we wanted to ensure the scientific validity. We also wanted to prevent the operational issues at the site. We do not want that protocol amendments. And now I give you one another important example, that when you are working in, like, you're working as a development lead, program development lead, suppose an example, one of your goal is not to have amendment. Their request is to think through properly. Unless there's no major regulation change, no major thing is happening, you should not be amending. If you fail in this, that means you are not, as a program lead, you are not working that efficiently. Because amendment means more cost. Now another red flag or misalignment happens is when you are fixing your objectives. Sometimes too many goals, too many primary goals, but that is not a correct one. Especially if you have seen in the cancer trials, they keep on adding. Keep the goals minimum. Uh, Too many exclusion criteria. What happens if there are too many exclusion criteria? Then enrollment is difficult. And sometimes teams, they become perfectionist in, when they try to be perfectionist, they write so many visits for a patient, and this become one of the barriers. This become one of the biggest hurdles, that patient do not come to hospitals so often. But do you designed your protocol incorrectly, where visits are too many, or lab tests or imaging, there are too many. Especially PK studies, mostly phase 1 we design, right? Phase 1 PK is very important, but size sometimes sampling is after every 2 hours, like 2 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours, like that. Then patient is like, sometimes they give up, that we can't give so much of a blood sample, right? So designing of a protocol is a very, very important. That's why your scientific team should be very strong. Now, at what time you should take a blood sample? Blood sample timing. Do you think a medical writer will decide? No. It is that your physician lead, or MDL, if they are medically qualified, they will be deciding, right? Not a medical writer. But this is such an important criteria. Or sometimes stats, they have not done their job properly, and we have faced this brunt very badly once. Our statistician, because he was not Indian, sometimes I'll tell you how things change, happens. He said he calculated and he thought 1400 infants will be sufficient. But India, the rate, because where he went wrong, he done his work very well, because statisticians, when they calculate the sample size, how they assume, this is an assumption, how they assume, they refer the literature, correct? They literature. So this statistician, our statistician, done the mistake that he referred just international. He didn't refer the any Indian paper. And as per Indian, the ways of working and things, whatever, because of the involvement of the infants, the drop rate is much, much higher. He gave this sample size, and the moment we reached there, we were already 1320. So he just considered that 80 people will be dropping, and then still this will be sufficient. But within 6 months we reached here. The moment 1 year were gone, we were here, 12 30 or 35. So our highest number was this, like this was the maximum number we need to have a power calculation, but we reached 1230. Why? Because of the miscalculation. He didn't calculated the drop rate correctly. So then what we have to do? We brought in amendment. We increased the sample size like a 1500. We recruited more people. So these are the practical things sometimes happen. So being a statistician, giving you power calculation is very important. Even as a you guys can also do these things because these days AI is there. You can download some software. You can start calculating the samples. Assumption I have told you from where you can take from a literature. So this is bit one of phase 2 lung cancer trial. Issue identified during protocol review. Image scheduled every 2 weeks. Most oncology sites normally perform imaging 6 to 8. Then what will happen in this trial? Patient will lose interest. You will struggle to get data, will be incomplete. So these are the real-time problems happen. So with this, I conclude our protocol. Then CSR I will cover quickly. I won't take. I learned that today is a match or something like that, right? So so this I have already covered. 10-minute rapid protocol review framework. I have already covered it. So you should, in fact, just focus on our schedule of assessment and design, right? So any question till now, or we will move to our CSR. Let me download. Okay, I see that there are two questions. We can take one by one. So one question I read by Anuruddh, right? So how we decide that exclusion criteria, how to know which exclusion criteria to mention with respect to red flag. So sometime what happens, suppose example you are in phase 1. Phase 1, what is our criteria? We are taking healthy people, that is inclusion. That means rest all are exclusion, that is fine. But by the time you reach to phase 3 trial, now phase 3 oncology trial, if you have to little flexible with your criteria. You have to include people with having little bit of problems. Like if you are restricting it too much, like you already you can't take pregnant people, you can't take people who are planning for a family, they are excluded from your chart, right? Then for the rest of the things you have to be little liberal. Like maybe someone is having BP, okay, not very high but reasonable in this window, in this range, that. But if you are becoming too restrictive, even if you have a slightest BP, you can't take. If you have slightest heart issue, you can't take part. If you have a cortisol high, you can't take part. If you are listing too many exclusion criteria, you are saying no to everyone, then who will take part of your study? So that is where medical judgment, mostly decided by medical people, medical judgment is that, okay, this much risk we can take. Hmm? So that is how it is included. I was having doubt. Adnan has a question. I was having doubt, like understanding study endpoints in protocol. Like, do medical writers, yeah, do medical writers are involved in writing it, or do literature review determine study endpoints now? If you, as a medical writer, do you think you can write? No. Study endpoint is not your goal. Study endpoints are always written by a medical team, right? They can, at least you can add on it. Like medical writer will tell, medical expert will tell you that, okay, safety analysis. But safety analysis translate to AE and SAs, right? Progression free survival. If you are doing a oncology trial, progression free survival, it will be the medical team will be telling you, not a medical writer. Medical writer can help in improving the language. Medical writer can find some literature. Medical writer can find some reference on ct.com. But medical writer will not be deciding that. Effective drug dose is always cross-verified with your investigational brochure. And again, your medical team will decide this, not you. Always leave a question whenever there is a doubt. Leave a question for your medical reviewers. Okay, good, very interesting questions. Good question. Let me go back to our some other slide. है ना? We also have to cover a protocol. Sorry, CSR. Sometimes I get confused by myself. So it is saying structure of CSR. Take a little time for it. Okay. Clinical study report. Where are the sections? Here is. So now clinical study report, or you can say the clinical trial report is written once it is written once SAS analysis is done. Once the database lock is done and your statistical team, they complete the analysis, then you are the one who is shaping up the clinical study report. Now, a lot of information we take from our very protocol. Now tell me, can we take a title page information from a protocol? Yes or no? Very much. So, yes, right? Yes, yes. So I'm writing protocol. Now, and then introduction, protocol, because it will be rings. Mean what change we are doing? We will be changing present sentence to past. Past is CSR. Correct? Objective, ditto, copy paste from your protocol. Study design, protocol, because these things are not changing. They will remain same. Methods, protocols. Now, writing clinical study report is easy, right? It is not that difficult. It looks difficult, but it's not. The result is the section that we take from our SAS analysis. This is where these are the section discussion, not conclusion. These are the two sections. They are taking a maximum time. A lot back and forth will also be happening there. Conclusion based on this, references 80% from your protocol. Rest, if you have added anything in a discussion, that will be a new. Tables and figures your stat team is giving to you. You are adding in your CSR. Maybe you have to add a chronology. Maybe you have to change a chronology or things like that. And these days, because of automation, we are directly embedding them. Earlier, we used to copy paste. Not now. Appendices, all your protocols, CSRs, they get attached here. Now, in your result section, this will be little long because it will be divided in efficacy and safety. All the data of your primary and secondary endpoints will be discussed here. All the data of SAEs will be in the safety section, including narratives. So that will be coming here. And as a medical writer, if you are getting a chance to work as a safety narrative writer, that will be a very good opportunity because you will be working as a kind of a CSR writer. right? But because these days, because of the modern facilities, I always insist that do not just, restrict yourself to that. I just wanted to be work in a CSR writing or protocol writing. There are a lot many, opportunities, because when this CSR or a protocol, it is posted on your clinicaltrial.com or EU cities, redaction happens, anonymization happens, the teams are there. Because of the redaction and anonymization, they are very like new teams. The growth opportunities are also higher. So, but that is a little off topic. But this is how you focus on your what you say clinical study report. And if you have to write a paper from this, again you approach different section. From one CSR, you can write 3 to 4 papers. That is decided by your team. An abstract or slash a summary is written at the end. And there is one pharma company, I was discussing in one of our meetings that they developed their in-house software. Then abstract is written automatically, abstract or slash synopsis or summary, that they designed it in a way that software is writing by itself. So this we have already studied, so I'm skipping. No point to. I just wanted to see if I have added here. No, I have not added. Pay for a paper writing. Okay, no, we can discuss our questions if you are having any. Um, Otherwise, that's all from my side. And happy Women's Day to everyone. I forget. Uh, there is one more question. I think it came in a different chat, that someone is having some experience in the medical writing device domain and now wanted to transition to medical writing drug lit. It's easy for you. It's not that difficult. So good thing is you have a experience as a medical writer. Is in a device or a drug or a vaccine, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Simply what you should do is that all an entry level positions, which is 2 to 3 years, you should start applying. Start, why you are not applying into the GCC role? And if I will say, if you're at the start of your career, be open to relocate for some time. Hyderabad is coming up. Already there are so many GCCs, even in a Bangalore, that you will get a good opportunity. Stay active on a LinkedIn. Try keep on following people. There are lot many opportunities in your in the global capability centers. Make your CV better and start applying. And you should not be limit yourself that I do not have a experience in this domain or that domain. It's all considered. Even a teaching experience is considered. Yes. There's now I tell you, when I am still in a transparency lead. Do you think I just take care of oncology trials? No, all the trials. Once you are a writer, you are a writer. But anything you can write about oncology, you can write about vaccines, you can write about biologics, you can write about gene therapy, right? So it doesn't matter. No matter in which for which area you have started, you can work on any area. You should not limit yourself. Feedback from feedback from Samriddhi will give. Ajay, Samriddhi will give. And to you all, at least I will say half an hour every day spend on your LinkedIn. You will get lot of information. It's not like you will get job there. You will get lot of information, and information, right information, is always important for us. Why not? You are a regulatory medical writer. Why not? You can't go to scientific writing. My friend, one, me and Akshma, Dr. Akshma, both of us, were narrative writing. When we joined Kainet, both of us were a narrative writer. I transitioned to this transparency. She transitioned to scientific writing. Indizine is a very good organization. If you have something special for you to start, Indizine CRO is a very good, you know. So you are doctor. You are dentist, or from which background you are? PharmD. Okay, that's also equally good. Scientific writing also, some in some places it is mentioned by, goes by the name of a publication. So do not get confused, right? So scientific writer, publication writer. Internship it's there are organization, uh, they post about intern hiring. They post about it. So that is the only way, when they announce it, and then you can choose it. And if you get some internship opportunity, there are good chances that they take you full time also. This, I just keep you encouraging. Sometimes the first opportunity is difficult. It seems like nothing is working out, but things work out in a way. For us, when I started my career, that time also, like, it took me 6 months to get into a right place. But at least face interviews. Interviews give you a lot of confidence. Medico marketing, I have not worked, but that is a field in itself, is a big field. That as a medical writer, in medical, you write about lot many things. It's not only SMPs. It's more than that. Even the training material for the doctors, medical professionals, it is prepared by the medical writers. But my apologies. My knowledge in medico marketing is little less. I didn't get an opportunity to work in that. Okay. Yeah, thank you so much. Opportunity open domain are open. Ma'am, where can we find it? Medical coding is a different topic, right? Medical coding is, there is one, I know, faculty at CliMed, which is Charanjit. She can guide you about the medical coding. But medical internship opportunities, guys, only this is posted on the job portals only. Nothing. There's no other way to find out. It's all, or sometime campus hiring. And if you are having, I'll tell you, if you are in some college or university, always speak to your placement officer. Ask them, And if you are interested to take little more risk, I'll guide you. It may be not a medical writing opportunity, but um, as a clinical researcher, you can work in your city. Go to biggest hospital, try do some research. Hospital which is involved in the research, apply as there as an intern. It may be as a for a CRC, it may be an enrollment specialist, it may be ethics committee coordinator. Apply there. Go in person. Prepare first. Prepare yourself. As a medical writer, what kind of opportunities are open? Lot many opportunities. You can not only medical writer, transparency. We have discussed in another session. No? Transparency, like a redaction, normalization, uh, publication writers, quality control associates. These are the opportunities are there. Even there is a video on my YouTube. I mean, you can watch in little detail. Clarity Healthcare also are providing that. Okay, thank you, Prerna, for adding this. Okay, can we close? Feedback from guys. I will tell Smriti to share with you, right? She will. मेरे पास नहीं है feedback form. I'm so sorry. So Smriti will share with you definitely. Thank you. Bye.